Lecture 1B, Systems and Structures. This is a brief overview of the organization of organizations and how management fits in. First, we want to make sure to think about that organizations and management of them takes place in what we call an open systems. And so what this means is that the throughput is the organization itself. It requires resources, and they're taken in from the external environment. You have suppliers, you have banks who give you loans, you need to get labor from the labor pool, etc. So you take in resources. The organization itself, the step-by-step processes, the routines that we discussed in the previous section, are the throughput, and then we output. The question is, are we putting out as our outcome that which we've set out to do? Are we pleasing our customers, etc.? And this is where we rely on feedback, which is the continuing source of information, and then the environment is the other things that affect the system. Here's some examples of what happens in the environment. We have political legal environment, different laws, even in different countries, different laws affect how we can do business. We have economic environments that make a difference. We can see this in today's real estate market, etc. It's affecting a lot. Technological environments, it could be specific technologies to the organization or broader technological issues. We have social-cultural environments. What are the values of the people that we are working with and for? We have domestic and global business environments. As you may recall, efficiency refers to how well we convert our input resources. We do this by measuring the amount per a unit, miles per gallon, dollars per week, etc. Efficiency is where we look to see whether we have any waste in our effort, in our resources, in our X routines. Effectiveness is how well our Y is received by the environment, the degree to which our goal has been reached, and it provides a benchmark against which to assess how well we're doing. We have four main functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, otherwise known as directing, and controlling. Controlling is where we get the feedback and make adjustments, as if you were controlling a remote control airplane, for example. Is it going the direction we want? How do we tell if it's veering off course? What do we do to get it back on course? Planning is where we establish the goal and how to achieve it. Organizing is where we set up the step-by-step processes, including assigning tasks. And leading is managing the human factor, also managing relations with the external environment. The leadership role, the directing role, is that which makes links between systems. We see here there's a hierarchy. We could say here's the top management, here's the middle management, here's the lower management or line management, and here's the workers getting things done. You might also recognize it as a basic taxonomy. And so it's the way that we structure our thinking, including our thinking about organizations. We will say that this is divisional, this is top management, this is also the level of strategy, this is the level of tactical, this is the operational level. Here's where the actual work gets done: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The interrelationship of levels we'll see in the planning. When we discuss planning, we'll see when we talk about strategy, is that we have an overall purpose. Why are we doing it? That's our purpose. That's our mission, for example, or our vision. Why are we doing what we're doing? To achieve a purpose. That's our overall big picture why. And then how do we do it? Well, we do it by, in order to achieve this, we do these separate divisional levels, the tactics. In order to achieve our tactics, we have certain operations. And so strategy refers to our enduring position in the environment. We have tactical plans in order to how to achieve that, and operational plans, who specifically does what. All of these things have feedback loops too. It's not easy. So, in general, for why, look up; for how, look down. Each action in the hierarchy refers to both the purpose and the performance of the action. When we look to the higher level, we look for why, for the reason we're doing it. Um, if someone is sending out a marketing campaign, you go, why? Why are you doing that? And they should be able to know that, well, it's because Our division is trying to achieve this goal, and that's to achieve our overall strategy because our mission of the organization is. So looking up gives you why, looking down gives you how. Manager skills for directing and leading. We have conceptual skills. That's the top level skills. That is big picture skills. We see cause and effect. We see what leads to what. We see patterns over time. We see patterns across divisions. We see how the external environment is impacting what we need to do. Interpersonal skills is similar to leadership skills. We coordinate purposeful action across all levels. And technical skills is the how we're getting it done, that you have the actual technique to perform the operations and to provide oversight for the operations and routines that provide the product or service. As you may remember from 1A, we're looking for what X's lead to differences in Y's. Maybe they're different kinds of people, something within individuals, a personality or character, values, training, etc. is going to make a difference. It could be within the subcultures, maybe within the group, or maybe within the way marketing tends to be. What are the values, the traditions, and experiences there that lead to desired outcomes? And then what happens within the whole country, culture, history, and language? Leaders can create shared values and goals, that this ability to work together now that we have all these different divisions and sections and operations and functions, by being fair across divisions and levels, by respecting differences. They require relationship skills to do this, and then ethical skills of honesty and integrity and commitment to stakeholders. In 1973, a researcher whose last name was Mintzberg studied how CEOs didn't necessarily seamlessly move from planning to organizing to directing or leading and to controlling. Instead, they had a lot of little piecemeal jobs. You may know this. You may have said to yourself, I wish I could just sit down and get something done, but I'm always interrupted. Well, this is definitely part of management. If you can handle it, go for it. You're going to be a great manager. And so, mainly what managers did back in 1973, let me go back, was previous. See, I jumped around there too. They collected and shared information, they made decisions, and they represented the organization. So we can see here, back to our open systems, that if we see the arrows is where management is needed. We need to link the input into the throughput. We need to get the throughput back out into the environment. We definitely need to arrange to get and then track our feedback, and we need to keep track of what's going on in the environment. Negative feedback is defined as the gap between what we set out to do and what we actually achieve, usually, maybe always, when it's less than what we wanted. So we set out with one objective or goal in mind, and then we find out that we have somehow fallen short. We failed to achieve it. We veered off track. Why is the question? Was the goal not appropriate? Did we take the wrong actions? Maybe the way that we assessed whether or not we'd reached it wasn't actually the best way to get our feedback. And so we need to think, is there really a problem? If so, what caused it? Actually, there's probably many causes, but what are some important X's that have led to this Y? And what can we do next? So the cycle is that we try something, we execute it, we check the results against the plan, and then we replan and renegotiate changes. Try again.